I was born in Chanute, Kansas, 1923. I lived there until I was 12 or 13. There was 4 boys and myself. My mother was a housewife and my father was an engineer. My grandfather had 3 farms, and we had cows and pigs and chickens and truck garden. Back there, black people really didn't own a lot of land, but we did. I came to Valley Junction and we lived at 927 Maple. That was my first home. We moved to 208th Street. I've been there like 68 years. During the war, I worked for the ordnance plant making bullets. And then after that closed down, then I went to Solar Aircraft. And my father also worked there. And then they sold it and it became tech school. My brothers were in the service. My brother-in-law and his brother, Joe Garrett and Edward Garrett, were the first 2 blacks in the Navy from West Des Moines. Then later on, my son, Robert Garrett, went and served in the Navy. He did barbering for all the people who were on the boat. And he had a salon on 5th, between 4th and 5th on Maple. My first employment was with the school system. That's how I got into working with the city. And we organized the Betterment League, which turned out now to be Human Services, where I met a lot of people and reorganized and went into doing park work. We organized the parks, and when we had the flood, we did new homes and things like that for people that got flooded. We organized the food program, and my mother worked for that, Hortense Trumbo. And then we had Head Start classes and a daycare, which was run, the first one was run by Barbara Long on the corner of 8th and Railroad. And then we reorganized Head Start. And I was hired by the school system then, and I worked for the school system 23 years. Well, the original Mount Hebron Church, if I'm not making a mistake, we've been there like 86 years. And it first was Fort Dodge home, and we had some very good pastors there. The pastor I married under was there, and his name was Reverend L.G. Garrett, and I married his nephew, L. Lee Garrett. And so I've been in church ever since. My kids have all grown up in the church. It means a lot to be involved in church and work with the people that you know. And living in West Des Moines in Valley Junction, I wouldn't have given it up for anything and went back. My daughters now say to me, why don't you move and go to Detroit or Chicago and those places? But I'd miss all the friends that I have made. And also, this is a beautiful place to raise your children. In all the organizations that I have worked in, you can see the things that they have done, the good they have done. Because when I first come here, it was nothing but farms and cornfields. And now we've got everything that a big city has. In fact, it's a better place to live than a big city. So I would like to stay here until I can't stay any longer. It's a good place to be.